welcome back from the break. We are still doing the recap of the FA Cup quarterfinals, and we did that of Manchester United and Liverpool already, and now we are looking at the match between Manchester City and Newcastle. The match ended in a 2-0 defeat to Newcastle, and Manchester City has qualified for the 6th time in a row to the semi-finals of the FA Cup competition. What do you think about their performance?
All right, so thank you very much. So Manchester City, before going into the match, I knew City would score Newcastle, because you realize it was the same Newcastle that knocked Manchester City out of the EFL.
The Carabao, yes.
Yes. So I said, like, City will be coming in for not a revenge, but to prove to Newcastle that they are masters of the game.
Of course.
And definitely Guardiola, his tactics, his players, their commitment, they're able to score City Newcastle United 2 goals in the first half, and that took them to the semis.
Right. So Manchester City are on utmost form, as you can see, 22 games unbeaten already, and they are still marching on. They actually have a treble within reach. Do you think they can take the treble again?
Oh, you can absolutely not put the treble far away from City.
Yeah.
Once it's in reach, definitely you should count on your stars that they will definitely do some before.
Yeah,
I be done also. Why be done to my ear? So definitely then go feed do. Exactly. Now the match between Newcastle and then Manchester City, I think previously we had said that any way that Newcastle would have a chance is for them to play a low block defensive line. That's what. Yes, they did that, but trust me, it didn't work. Still, Man City will find a way. And in Bernardo Silva, they were able to get 2 excellent goals.
Very you could tell from the way they had the goals. Both goals came from a deflection. So which tells you that they were trying to defend the goals.
Yes. So you have to shoot from afar. You have to do attack, and that's the motto for Man City. So the best way they could have done it is to defend. They did. So all props to both teams. They did what they were supposed to do, then do everything. But City would always find a way. Knowing that the triple, the FA Cup, the Premier League, the Champions League is in play. They will do whatever they have to do to get those titles. And then they made a statement by scoring Newcastle. Newcastle is a pretty decent side. They are all actually good, and they were able to put 2 past them. I think it was a marvelous game. Kudos to Pep Guardiola. Kudos to Man City. Wonderful game.
So Manchester City are marching on, with wins in the quarterfinal, marching on to the semi-final, and that is the 6th time they've done that in 6 seasons, and that is of course a record. The first team to ever do that, play 6 consecutive semi-finals. If they should march on to win the FA Cup, then of course that puts them in a very good position to actually land the treble again this season, and I'm sure that is something Guardiola and his men would be looking at. Now moving on from there, let's look at the match between Chelsea and Leicester City. With their proud final in 2021, and Leicester dominating that match and winning by that slim lead, we were expecting Chelsea to actually put on a reaction, and that is exactly what they did, although their performance to me wasn't very, very encouraging.
Yeah, sure. So as you said, Leicester with their current form, they are currently on top of the championship. And every week they are scoring their players with the likes of our Ghana boy, Ishaiku, Jamie Vardy. The boys are performing very well. So going into the match against Chelsea, I was surprised in the first half when Chelsea took the 2 early goals. That was like, Leicester with the expectation, are they coming to just sit back for Chelsea to score them? Because first half Chelsea scoring 2-0, it is likely in the second half they can double up and score more. So when they came into the second half and Leicester quickly equalized, making the game 2-2, I was like, good, the boys can make a mark. But unfortunately, after the red card, they were not able to defend, and Chelsea had the 2 goal in addition, making it 4-2, and they have tried their best. Chelsea were the favorites. Everybody saw Chelsea.
They were playing at home.
Yes, and also being in the Premier League with the experienced players they have.
Yeah.
They were. I mean, we knew Chelsea to be the favorites, and they prove us right that they deserve the win.
Wow. So Chelsea won the match 4-2, and the manner in which they did it, you could tell that from the first half Chelsea had to win the game hands down. But in the second half, we had Disasi score an own goal, and then they concede a very brilliant goal from Mavididi. That was a very brilliant killer that equalized the game, and then we are looking for an extra time. But unfortunately, during the extra time or the injury time, Pochettino made some changes that actually impacted the game positively, and I would say that is one of the changes, the substitutions that Pochettino has actually made in a game that has really, really paid off, with two of his subs, going on the score sheet.
Yeah, so Pochettino actually did really, really well as the game was at a stalemate.
Yeah, and
then he realized that things had to change. He had to bring in Chukwuemeka and Madueke, and these two runners. They run with their ball.
Yeah.
They will always look to go solely at your defenders. They're always giving passes, quick passes, making quick runs, and all those kind of things. So yes, I think he wanted to kill the game. But overall, I was a little bit disappointed in Chelsea because they are playing at home. We're all expecting you to win comfortably against a championship side.
Yeah.
All right. You took 2 early goals to the first half, and it was marvelous. So I think they started being complacent.
Yeah, because even in the first half they could have actually gone 3 goals.
Yes.
I mean, Sterling missed the penalty in there as well.
Exactly. So a post-match review from Pochettino had him saying something like the fans were booing Sterling because of his awful performance.
Yeah,
the fans
should actually
give him some time, and then so but the fans, we realized that the fans weren't too happy with Sterling's performance, missing penalties and then ballooning free kicks. Ballooning free kicks and then all those kind of things. In fact, this is a match we should have won easily, fair and square, and then progress into the next stage. But it had to be a red card.
Yeah.
For them to actually get the opportunity to settle in and then score the 2 other goals. So it was a game of 2 halves. Leicester showed mettle. Leicester will be in the Premier League next season.
Yeah.
So let's see what they're actually coming in with. I see that their team has Harry Winks from Tottenham. Yeah. So their midfield is pretty decent. And then Ndidi, Harry Winks, and all those kind of yes. So it was a game of 2 halves. Both teams showed why they deserve to be in the quarterfinal. And then I think we had goals. That's what we were looking for. It was a great game in general.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks.
Right. So Chelsea qualifying there to the semi-finals, and you could tell in recent years Chelsea have actually made it to this stage of the competition in other seasons as well. Leicester, on the other hand, for me, I think it's probably because they want to play in the EPL, and they don't want to get out of the top position in the championship, and of course that will guarantee them a qualification to the EPL, and I'm sure that is all that played in there to bring them down in this one. Going on, we'll be looking at the match between Wolves and Conventry, and there we have a very surprise win from Conventry. What a match and what a performance from Conventry. The mentality alone to come out with that win at Wolves, the home grounds of Wolves. Molinos, that was superb, right?
That was superb, and a very disappointing game for Wolves. Because why should Wolves sit at their home and Coventry coming to score them in the injury time? That's in the additional time. You sit back and they'll score you 2 goals.
Yeah.
Wolves took the lead until the 88 minutes with some few minutes to end the game. Yeah. And I don't know whether they were complacent, thinking that we have won the game already. So the
way then Wolves relax for the game is safe. I mean, for a Premier League side, sitting ahead of Newcastle, the likes of Chelsea, and then you allow Conventry, who sits 8th on the Championship League, to come and then dominate you and actually take the lead in the second half before you now come in the 80th minute to score those 2 goals. Then when it goes to injury time, you allow yourself to be, to be defeated. I mean, it's very poor. It's very poor. But kudos to the Conventry side. You know, that is a great work done. And that is their second time in the semi-finals in 37 years, right? I mean, the last time they did that was 1987. So that is a long time ago. I mean, it tells you what it means to the fans, and already they are saying that they want to erect a statue for their coach who has done so much for them, bringing them to this stage of the competition. The last time they progressed to this stage, they actually went on to win the trophy. Let's see what happens with the likes of Man City, Man United, and Chelsea in there. Well, they are the underdogs, and we don't know. So, yes, that is what we have by way of a recap of the FA Cup quarterfinals. You know, it was all joy to have, Manchester United come out of that emotional roller coaster. I mean, for all the Manchester United fans, and you can tell how happy they are with the tweets that you see going on, Twitter and all the other social media space. Manchester City are also in there, and Chelsea. After that disappointing performance, though, they still find themselves in the semi-finals, and because it's a knockout game, this time they are all moving to Wembley, and it will be nice to actually bring you a preview of the semi-final matches. The next segment of this show will actually see the a preview of the semi-finals, draw, and then we talk a bit about that as well. So without doing much on that one, let's quickly go for a break, and then when we come back, we'll do a preview of the semi-finals draw. Welcome to the second segment of the show, where we look at the semi-final draw of the FA Cup. And it's been interesting. We have Chelsea qualifying, we have Manchester City qualifying, we have Man United in there, and we have Coventry, the underdogs in this one. The draw has actually gone down, and now we have Manchester City facing off Chelsea in the semi-finals at Wembley. What do you think of the match?
All right, so thank you very much. So, as you rightly said, the draw for the semis, Manchester City will be facing Chelsea, which means that Manchester City and City will be facing 3 times this season. Yes. The first 2 ended in a draw, a 1-1 draw in both matches. So going into this match, the FA Cup, it is not going to be an easy match for both teams, both Chelsea and City. It is not going to be an easy match. Chelsea, anytime they are approaching a cup final, you realize the determination of the players. More aggressive, eager to win. In the same way to Manchester City too as well. They are coach very tactical and always determined to win a trophy, which will bring their competition. But with the current form of both teams, Chelsea and Manchester City, I will place my cards on Manchester City for a slim win. If everything being equal, I will go for Manchester City to go into the final for that second time.
So Jonas actually tipping for Manchester City win in the semi-final against Chelsea. We should say that after this draw, Manchester United are the happiest, because everyone would have wanted to actually meet Coventry, which to all of us is the underdogs. And coming up against Manchester United, it's a very big match for them as well. Playing at Wembley and all of that. I'm not sure their players have even had such an experience. The huge glamour, around this fixture. So Man United has all the advantages, isn't it?
Yes. So that's where you actually come in with your players being complacent. And then you actually lose focus. The defender for Coventry, when they heard that they were being paired against Manchester United, came out and tweeted that he thinks pairing with Manchester United is a bit okay
for them,
but it's okay for them. If it were to be Man City, they had no chance. But they've seen United, and with all due respect, they believe United is a top team. But they can get, sometimes United games haven't been all the best. So they have some slim. So this will tell you that indeed they are underdogs, but they are hoping to get a kill. So if you slack and you are complacent that Coventry, they be Coventry. If you score them, if you close your eyes and score them, and that is what most United fans on my FYP page on Twitter and they are saying, Coventry, Coventry, God please give us Coventry, God please give us Coventry.
Now God has answered your prayer.
And then you go and underestimate them. And look, on the road to this stage of the FA Cup, United played Newport Bill.
Yeah.
And then United started by scoring them 2-0. They came back 2-2. And it was a really big struggle for United. For a 4th division team, Newport Vale. United had to struggle for a 4-2 win. That's because they underestimated Newport.
Wow.
If you go and underestimate Conventry, a championship side, placed 9th, you are doing yourself bad. So you don't have to underestimate anyone. Football is a game of chances. If they're able to take their chances well, they will score you one, they will defend. You can't tear. So Manchester United should be very, very careful. Coventry are coming in for the kill. United, you also have to be go in for the kill. If it's 5-0, 10-0 that you can score them, make sure you utilize all your chances. Don't be wasteful. All right. Going back to the City Chelsea match.
Yeah, that is a big one.
2021 was the last time Chelsea was able to score City. From the Champions League final. Kai Havertz. Ever since then, they've not been able to score City. But this season, it's been quite tight because Chelsea midfield has been better against City. So they are able to contain the game. You saw this by the 4-4 and the 1-1 draw performance. Yes. But, Manchester City, the evaluation of a football team, every football team is based on the amount of trophies you win. So even if your season sucked, even if you are 12th position and the season ends and you're able to win a trophy they will tell me your destiny a success. At least what's your trophy?
At least,
And Manchester United 3rd place last season or the EFL. They said their season is better than Arsenal. One second, one trophy.
At least something for the fans to say.
Exactly.
At the end of the season.
Manchester Manchester City are in the Champions League. They are in the title race for EPL and then the FA Cup.
Sure.
So to him, Onya trophy. If he's able to get all these trophies, fine. But at least if he gets the Champions League again or even the EPL, it's fine. The FA Cup isn't so much of a big deal too.
Sure.
So Guardiola will be quote unquote lax. But what about Chelsea? Chelsea 10th place, 11th place. The only way for him for Chelsea's season to be deemed a success is for the FA Cup.
And this one, it will be a big success sake of if they are able to win. Then what it means is they get to play in Europa as well.
So it means much more to Chelsea than
it means a lot. It's like their world.
Their world to them. So
that's the only thing left to play
exactly.
for. Where they
so they will
now,
put their last peswa in it. Unlike Man City, who have to prepare for Real Madrid. In Champions League. So yes, they are not so focused. Even if they are focused, they are not as focused as Chelsea.
Champions League,
so that's where this thing will come. But based on form, based on Chelsea's performance against Leicester, if they do the same thing against City, they will get punished, and then there's no way they will equalize with City. And no. So they can't afford to be lax. They can't afford to slow down. I'm actually tipping City win because when you can't tip against City, City are always the favorite. But on that day, it will depend on how much they want it. Both teams want it. So I'm sure Chelsea will come in for the kill. But I'm tipping Man City win. I want Manchester City to win so that we will meet them in the final. And
like
in the final to be a revenge. A revenge final. This one you go be bloody final. Bloody Wembley Manchester Derby final. That one there. Yes. So we are waiting for them.
We come your home, you know, kill out. Wembley, they go kill out.
We go
Wembley. We go see.
Yes.
All right. So yes, that is what we have for you by way of the semi-finals draw. It's been interesting, as you can see. Any final words?
I'm just hoping Manchester United will go to the final for the second time, and this time around will lift the trophy. Right.
Any final?
Yeah, definitely. So 13th FA Cup trophy is on the way. Arsenal should watch out. We are about to overtake them, and then our season will be a success if you're able to get FA Cup. Ten Hag is a man for United. Let's all believe in him.
Right. So there you have it. I mean, for the best place to get all your sports analysis, reviews, and news and updates in sports, it's no other place than the Pro Sport Analysis Show. And this evening, we've come your way, with the recap of the FA Cup quarterfinals as well as the semis draw, and we are looking forward to these matches which will be played in April, somewhere around 20th and 21st, with the time to be yet to be confirmed, and we will fill you in as and when that is done. And we have the big teams in there, and we will expect that the semifinals will be something great to watch, with the likes of Conventry also coming in there. We are not saying that we should expect a surprise from Conventry again, but it's football and anything can happen, as we always say. Conventry can pull a surprise and probably go to the final to meet either Chelsea or Manchester City. So anything can happen. Let's hope for the best. But as my right hand man rightly said, Manchester United are also in there for glory, and this time we hope that they are able to lift the trophy, like they've always had in the old days, the glory days, as we put it. So right, on this note, we'll end the show here. Very big thank you to you for actually staying on to this time. We say a very big thank you to you. Go ahead, share the videos, subscribe, and let all other people also know about the sports. We are gathering a family of passionate football fans, and we will keep whetting your appetite with juicy news and updates as well as analysis. On this note, we will end the show here. Kudos to our media men. They are actively working behind the scenes to give you the best videos you are looking out for. All right, thank you.